Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie, this is my husband Jeremy.
Hello.
Have an exciting video today. We bought a new laptop. So before we get into the unboxing, I'll leave a timestamp on screen somewhere if you just want to go and see that, you're not bothered about the story time. But I've had this laptop, which is the
MacBook Pro 15-inch from 2019.
And I remember when I first bought this, I have no idea what I've got, but I saved up for like a year or something, any kind of photography jobs I did, anything that, you know, didn't go towards like everyday life. I put towards saving for a laptop. It cost me about $3,000, something like that. I remember it was expensive at the time and like I couldn't believe I was buying something that was so expensive. I've had it 4 years and it has been brilliant. We weren't looking at me getting a new laptop anytime soon, in all honesty, but the reason we have is that this laptop, it's done well. Like I said, I'm very grateful for it, but recently, in the past sort of year or so, I'd say, it heats up when I use it, especially using iMovie, which obviously, because I'm filming like editing 5 videos a week, I'm doing all the time. It gets really, really hot. It also crashes quite often when I'm using iMovie. I have to kind of close it down and like not use it for like half an hour, and then I can open it and restart it and use it again. It's very slow at exporting videos. It's very slow at doing the pineapple, which is actually called Handbrake
video compressor,
which is like to compress the videos so that I'm not like on my storage hard drive. It's a smaller video to save basically, and also for uploading onto YouTube. But there's just certain things where, like, when I bought this laptop, I was not doing YouTube. I started in 2020. We were not backpacking around the world, so I wanted a nice big 15-inch. It was good for me at the time.
It was a good laptop. I mean, it was like a lot of specs were bumped up. Like we didn't buy the
it's the 1 terabyte
lower range. Yeah, it was 1 terabyte. It's like a Intel i7 2.6. We bumped it up to probably like 16 gigabyte of RAM, which was maximum at the time. So like it wasn't a basic tier like model. Not the best one probably, but close to.
This is why Jeremy's here. He knows about the RAM and the what's it and all the rest of it. I don't know. So it was a good laptop at the time, but like I said, we weren't backpacking and I wasn't doing YouTube. So I kind of bought it for photography, for entertainment, for emails, you know, like general life stuff. But then as we've been traveling, and obviously space is important and obviously speed is important, something I found that when we're traveling, we've kind of got into a routine now where if we go to a cafe and work, like that 4 hours is like a work 4 hours, and then because the rest of the day we're like out exploring, we're going on boat trips, we're climbing waterfalls, we're eating foods, we're going to night markets, we're doing all these different things. So at the 4 hours that I work, I want to be able to really be efficient and get lots of work done. But I find with this that it overheats, it's slow, and it's really just slowing me down. And quite often, like, you know, we're in the middle of work, I just have to close my laptop and not use it for 20 minutes.
And what's actually mad is that it's not a 4 years laptop. It's a 18-month-old laptop.
Oh, yeah,
because in Peru at the end of 2021, the laptop stopped working. I think the motherboard fried.
Yeah. And
in January 2022, in England, Apple replaced it.
Oh, yeah.
So everything was, and they actually changed this. They didn't change any component. Like you can't change a motherboard. So they actually replaced the laptop.
Yeah.
So even if it's technically a 4 years old laptop in terms of component and specs and everything, the device by itself has only been used for 18 months.
Yeah, I forgot that.
So that's something interesting. But even with that, like the battery and everything still feels like it's melting away.
Yeah, it's just insane how, like, if I'm looking on the internet, if I'm doing emails, if I'm doing like lots of light things, it's absolutely fine. But as soon as I open iMovie, which is most of what I do on my laptop, the battery goes straight away. If I export, it goes straight away. It overheats. And also, when I have it on my lap, we just watched a video actually, that was doing a comparison of two laptops, this being one of them, and they measured the temperature and it got to like 49 degrees C. And I have that on my lap, and then sometimes after I've been working, I'll have like a red mark on my legs for like a couple of hours, so it's like it actually burns my legs, which I'm trying not to do. Anyway, long story short, Jeremy has saved money for us. He's very, very good at savings and finances. He's amazing. And for the past year or so, we've been saving money for a laptop, and you'd saved 2,200.
Yeah,
Initially thinking, okay, we'll be able to get a refurbished, like you do that talking. Why did you save that amount of money specifically?
Well, I looked how much the new MacBook Pro normal range like cost, and I know that you can get like 1 year old spec refurbished for usually like 10 to 15% cheaper. And like I don't care about having the latest model, like as long as I got something that works for what we do, it's fine. So getting a refurbished is usually a good way to get a very good laptop for 10 or 15% cheaper. You can get a pretty good deal. So yeah, that was wow. I knew that for 2200 we would be able to get something that works for us without being like the latest top-notch laptop, but enough for us. Rosie was getting annoyed like 2 days ago about her laptop, and
like I do every day, pretty much.
and for some reason, I basically like when we were in Peru in 2021, and we had to fix this one. Fixing it was gonna be like 5,000 or 6,000.
Yeah.
Because I know the price is very different from a country to another. So by curiosity, I Googled like I know we are going to.
We're currently in Malaysia, by the way.
Yeah, we're in Malaysia. I know we were going to be going to Central and South America maybe next year. And I was like, okay, just by curiosity, like assuming the laptop dies next year when we're in the middle of Mexico or whatever, how much will it cost to replace it? And Central and South America is quite expensive in terms of Mac. Like a laptop doesn't go the same price everywhere, and it can go from like a price to 3 times the price, basically. Like it goes from like 2K to 6K. In Brazil, it's 6K. When in the US or in Europe, it's more like 2 or 3. So just to give you an idea. And when I Googled it happened that Malaysia is the cheapest country to buy a Mac, and I was like, huh, and not by a bit. I started to look at like the model and stuff like that, and basically like you can get a very decent MacBook Pro for 2200 euro here, when in the US it would be 2800, and in Europe, like in France or in UK, it's more like 3,200.
Yeah.
So the price between Malaysia and Europe, thinking like if it dies before the end of the year, we can just get something if we go back in Europe, stuff like that. It's still 1,000
It's like a third
euro.
of the price.
It's a third of the price. I was like, I've saved this money as a backup just in case something happens and we lose a thing. But if we buy it now, you're gonna save like between 700 and 1,000 plus euros. So I told Rosie.
And I thought, well, he's only telling me because he thinks it's probably a good idea. So I was a bit like not even bothered. I was like, do you know what? We'll think about it. And then today he was like, I think you need to get the laptop. And I was like, okay, we'll get the laptop. Like, I'm like, you're very good at knowing about these sort of things, and also you're very good at planning for the future, very good at finances. Like, I trust you with all these sort of things. If you say like, hey, we can get a laptop for 1,000 less, which is like a third of the price.
It's not negligible.
Now, rather than waiting 6 months and your laptop dying in Mexico, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So like we weren't initially intending on buying a laptop today. It wasn't part of the plan for while we were here, but it just kind of makes sense. And there was also 2 kind of options in terms of like, okay, well, do I just keep using this one until it dies and then switch over to that one, or do I just straight away go on to that one, because it's going to be so much faster for like editing and exporting and all the rest of it that I do. I'm going to carry this around for the next 3.5 months and then leave it in Europe at Christmas when we go back. It'll just be like a backup, because it's a really good laptop for everyday use. For like I said, like editing pictures, it's probably fine. Watching YouTube videos, answering emails.
Just don't edit 25 videos a week.
Yeah, I edit a lot of videos. So like for me, it's not ideal, but I think it's great for backup. So we're gonna keep this in Europe while we go traveling, and then I'll start using this one from today. Basically, we're gonna set it up and figure it out. So we got what did we get? MacBook Pro.
The new MacBook Pro M2 Pro cheap, 14 inches, so a little bit smaller, and yeah.
1 terabyte of storage and 16 gigabytes memory.
Yeah.
I know I need storage because my laptop fills it with videos, so that's like this one.
It's the same.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
But I know that I can't get like a 500 whatever it is, 512.
For all the geeks out there, like the Mac, the Apple chip, the M1, M2 series, freaking insane. I've got one and it's life changing. Not even kidding.
Jeremy's laptop, like he never really had, like we'll go to a cafe and I'll be sat working and like straight away I have to plug in within like 10 minutes. Even if I'm full battery, I have to plug in because it just drains and drains. Yeah. You can sit there for 4-6 hours editing videos and not have to plug in, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So now I'm going to get to the exciting part. We've got my phone recording here, so we can kind of do a duo screen thingy-majiggy, make it very fancy. But this is what we got. They only had one colour, which is absolutely fine, space grey.
It's like a darker.
And they also had 2 sizes. They had he's in it, he's going. They had the 14-inch and they also had the 16-inch. I was debating about the 2. I prefer a bigger screen just because I like things to be bigger. Like,
that's what she says.
No, I do. I just like to have, like, I got this one as a 15-inch because I like bigger screens. But I thought for the practicality of travelling, it's probably best to have the 14-inch because it's just that little bit smaller. Okay, you get into your geek stuff then. You're loving this.
You need to put a sound when I open it.
Okay, we'll do that. You do all the talking then, this is your thing.
Okay. Now, what's good to know also is that with the latest generation of MacBook, they went from 13 inches or 15 inches to 14 and 16.
Yeah.
So the screens are 1 inch bigger compared to before, but the actual casing is not, because they reduced the border.
Yeah.
So like you're getting close to the same laptop in size, in screen size, for a fraction of the actual size. I put it together. You lose 1 inch of screen size, but you save a ton in
like
terms
2
of
inches there,
spacing.
Yeah.
It's a bit thicker, but it's much smaller in terms of like,
We went to the shop yesterday and realised that it's actually a bit thicker, and to me it feels like an old laptop. You know the ones because it's got the HDMI, it's got the SD card,
MagSafe charging,
all these things. So it feels thicker, it feels like an older laptop, but
Here we go.
whoa! You need to get a job on QVC.
What does that mean?
The sales, the sales.
That's cool. Engraved stuff here.
Sales TV where they like unbox things. You've got like the magical hands. Showing it off properly. That's cool. I'm excited.
So Apple went back to the MagSafe and to the HDMI and SD card reader, which they removed for the past 5 or 6 years, and you only had USB-C/Thunderbolt, so that's quite good actually also.
And there's still 3 of these, which is good because I have my Lassie hard drives.
Hard drives, yeah.
So it's good that I
which
can
also
plug
means
2
that
in
you
at a
can
time.
charge through the MagSafe or through that as well.
Yeah. And it's got the headphone thing as well.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. So now we're gonna have to set it up.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while, so we're not gonna film now.
No. Let's open the screen.
You can.
It is a QWERTY from Malaysia. We did have to double check.
Yeah. You don't want to have some. The keyboard is different also. It's different in yours and in mine.
What's different about it?
Just different feeling, different touch,
Oh, like the
stuff like
size
that.
of it,
Yeah.
or
They also removed the touch bar, so you don't have
Yeah.
to keep saying hello.
Oh, hello. Hello. That's going to be different for me because I do use the touch bar for volume, so I'm going to have to learn to press the buttons.
It's funny because no one liked the touch bar, but I really like it
I like
personally.
You use it a lot for emojis.
There's also a nudge, like on the phone now.
Yeah, so rather than all that being black, it's...
And it's actually funny because it's actually the screen behind that. You can put your mouse, you can lose stuff behind it. It's a better camera. It's a 1080p camera when yours and mine is a 720p camera.
Okay.
So better resolution for FaceTime and Zoom calls and stuff like that, which is useful those days. You have Touch ID here, so the fingerprint reader still works.
Oh, good. Which
is good. That's convenient. But yeah.
Another reason I went for the smaller, so this is the 14-inch. Like I said, there was also a 16-inch. The 16-inch was also quite wide here, wasn't it?
Yeah, the speakers are much
yeah, because the keyboard is obviously the same size, but they just had that extra bit here to make up for the screen size. And I just thought I probably could do with a smaller one, which is going to be weird for me because I usually do like a bigger screen, but it'll just be just be an adjustment, I guess.
And again, the screen by itself is only 1 inch smaller, so
yeah.
Cool, exciting.
So we're now going to set this up.
I think it'll be good to report back in a couple of days to say like how much time you're saving in exporting videos and stuff like that, because that'll be interesting. But yes, I had a very good MacBook Pro, Intel MacBook Pro before we went traveling. And I bought mine, it's just the M1, so this is the M2 Pro. I got the M1, the first version, I bought it in 2021, and it's freaking insane how quick and fast and smooth it is, and how the battery life is so good.
Yeah.
And it's been added for 2 years, and it's not been aging at all. I feel it's still brand new.
Yeah. I
feel the battery didn't change, or like I edit fairly a good amount of videos a week and stuff like that, and it's still working like I unboxed it yesterday. I feel.
Yeah, you're really happy with it.
Awesome. Like so.
To use English as the main language, press the return key.
We will do that. Thank you very much.
So yeah, that's gonna be a beast.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I think it's also. Laptops are things that you hopefully keep for a couple of years, unless you're a techie that just changes them whenever something new comes out. But like, it's something that I use every single day. And I was saying to Jeremy, the ability to be able to, like, if we go to a cafe where there's no AC, my laptop just overheats and can't cool down.
Yeah, we can walk outside.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to work outside. And
We can't work outside because it's too hot, like on a balcony or something. We can't work in cafes without AC. I can't work on trains or buses or taxis or anything like that because obviously without a plug,
And the battery dies.
it lasts like 10 minutes. So I can get like a 10-minute thing done and then I'm like, okay, good. So like, you know, if we're doing like a 12-hour flight, it'd be amazing to be able to edit videos or watch videos or do whatever I'm doing on my laptop, but actually have it last more than, you know, half an hour at max. So I'm really looking forward to be able to editing faster, exporting faster, doing the pineapple faster, which is also known as handbrake, and just kind of being able to be more efficient with work. Because I think when you're at home, you can be a lot more lax about things. I think that, you know, you can kind of just go about your day and do other things. Whereas when you're traveling, that time is very, very important. Like when I'm working, I want to be working. When I'm traveling, I want to be traveling. So, but I will report back anyway and let you know how I'm getting on with it. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to hopefully be able to like blast through my work. So I always feel like I'm being like held back by my laptop. So, yay! Round of applause for Jeremy and his savings. Being organised and proactive.
Thank you,
unlike me.
YNAB. Sponsor this video.
Oh my god, YNAB, it's not sponsored. FYI, but we do use YNAB to like do our finances and it's brilliant. Okay guys, so it has been about 3 or 4 weeks since I bought my laptop, the new Mac, and I have to say I'm actually in love with it. And I know it sounds a little bit excessive maybe for a laptop, but honestly it has changed my life. So my old laptop, I think I probably said, it's been a couple of weeks since I did the intro, but I think I probably said it would heat up really quickly, it would lose battery really quickly, it was really slow to export videos. It's still a good laptop, like it still works, you just had to keep it plugged in for doing things like exporting videos. And obviously I bought it before I started YouTube, before we started traveling, so it was good for the time I bought it, but then it's kind of not been great recently. So I did buy the new laptop and it has been amazing. So the main differences, I would say, or the main things that has like changed the game for me, the battery actually lasts more than like an hour, especially if I'm editing, things like that. I was editing yesterday with a hard drive plugged in, and I think I was editing for like 3 hours and my battery went from 100% down to like 20%, which would not have happened, especially with the hard drive plugged in with my other laptop. So that's been amazing. But generally it just lasts kind of all day. It's also fine in the heat. So if we do go somewhere hot without AC, it's not like overheating. My other laptop was end up like firing up the fans and be like, and you can hear it working and trying to cool itself down. This one does not do that, which is also fantastic. So I can work in places that are a little bit warmer and not worry about my laptop taking off, as I would say, because it sounds like a rocket ship. The other thing is exporting videos. So obviously I'm at the moment doing 3 videos a week. I have been doing 5 videos a week on YouTube, so that means a lot of editing and also a lot of exporting. And then I also use Handbrake to compress the files, and it's just a hell of a lot quicker. Like I can export a video now in maybe 10 minutes that would have taken maybe 40-50 minutes beforehand. So it's saving me time in terms of like I can just then crack on with the next task, and I can also do things at the same time. Usually when I was exporting with my old laptop, it would export, and if I try and open YouTube or open anything else, it would just not, like it just would not happen. Whereas now if I'm exporting, I can listen to music, I can watch a video, I can browse the internet, I can do something else, and my laptop can keep up with it, which is also amazing. But I would say the biggest difference is that I started using Final Cut Pro, and we've bought it like 2 years ago, something like that, so we've had it for a while. Jeremy has been using it, has been saying, Rosie, you need to use Final Cut Pro. But then whenever I looked at the interface, I just got so overwhelmed with all the buttons and all the things. And then when I bought this laptop, I was like, do you know what, I just need to take time to learn it. And I would say I'm still very much in the beginning stages, very much just learning. I can now edit a video on there. I've kind of got a preset saved for the color grading, I can add text, I can do all these different things. But there's so many different things about Final Cut Pro versus iMovie that makes it so much quicker for me. So like my intro section where there's like doom 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 like music, if you've watched my vlogs you know what I'm talking about, but like that little section you can save almost as like a preset, and then you just add it in at the beginning, drop your files in, and it's done. Whereas when I was doing that on my other iMovie on my other laptop, I would have to try and figure out the timings every single time, and like I don't know, there's just so many different things that make it so much better. So in terms of the laptop itself, I think the screen is different in terms of the display. I don't notice things like that. I'm not like a super techie geeky girl. Like it's a laptop that works, honestly. So the screen has been fine. Obviously the battery life, like I said, has been amazing compared to what I had, and the M1 whatever it is processing, have I got M1 or M2? M2 Pro processing thing, I don't even know what that is, but I have noticed it's way quicker than my old laptop that didn't have that. In terms of the size, it's still a good size. I was worried it would feel small. Like whenever I use Jeremy's laptop, which is the 13 inch versus my 15 inch, it always feels really small. It feels like a toy. Same with his phone. I've got the 12 Pro Max, he's got the 12 Pro, and whenever I use his phone I'm like, this is a toy, it's so small. So I was worried the same would happen with this, but I haven't actually noticed much of a difference. So this screen is smaller by an inch, but I don't notice it being a lot smaller, honestly. I'm not like, oh my god, everything's tiny. So yeah, generally really enjoyed it. I think, I don't really know what to say, not that I would like recommend it. I think it's a good laptop. I think my other one was fine, it just wasn't ideal for traveling and doing so much editing and things like that. But yeah, it's been a good laptop. So I don't know if this video was useful or not, but either way, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back here very, very soon for more of my travel content and anything else we get up to. Bye!